New year, new you. Let's talk about how the tarot can help you for the year ahead. Hello and welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Amy the Medium, and today I want to show you a couple of variations of a single spread that you can use to help you to forecast your year. I often say not to use a whole lot of cards within a spread, because if you use too many cards, you're relying too much on the cards and not your own intuition. But this spread is an exception because we've got 12 months in a year and we need 12 cards in this spread. So because we're using so many cards, I'm using my tiny deck so that I've got enough room on the table to show you what this spread looks like. So there's a couple ways you can do it. One is to lay them out like a clock, starting with 1, 2, so this is one way to lay the cards out, kind of like a clock, where you've got your 12 right here. So you want to start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be associated with January. So you've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So this is a spread that if you're going to do it, I recommend do it in January to get a view on the year ahead. This spread is only helpful if you write down the results and you refer back to them throughout the year. But remember always, what the tarot is going to show you is what the possibilities are as of right now. So right now here today, I'm already seeing the big old death card in December. Does this mean someone's going to die in December? I sure hope not. December is 12 months away. So if I want to believe today that this is what December is going to portend, I'm going to write down the results of this reading and I'm going to refer back to them every month. But I actually wouldn't do that because I know how things can change throughout the year. So what I would recommend to make this far more interesting and more helpful and useful to you is start with this. Write down your results. So in January, I've got the Magician. In February, I've got the Emperor. In March, I've got the Fool. So I'm going to write down each of these cards and what the meanings are to me at that time. When I get to February, what I'm going to do is lay out a brand new spread in February. So let's assume that I've cleared all these cards away. When I do the new spread in February, I'm going to start in the second position where February would normally be. So I'm going to start there. And I'm going to lay, again, a card out for every single month of the year. I'm going to skip January because January is done. When I do the second reading during the month of February, now I've got 2 cards to inform me what I'm going to know in February. I've got 2 for March, 2 for April, and so on. Focusing back on my December, now I've got the Hermit with the Death card. I'm starting to get a little more clarity about what's happening in December. Now it's March. We're going to do a reading for March. I'm going to take February out, and here we go. I've got a lot of cards here. So when you do this on your own, you don't have to pull the old cards out of the deck. You can shuffle them back in and they can repeat themselves. That's totally fine. Just for illustration, I'm keeping them out on the table. So now in March, I've got 3 cards here. These 3 cards give me a lot of information about March. And again, because I'm worried about my December, I've now got the 8 of Pentacles with the Hermit and with Death. Again, starting to get a much clearer picture of what to expect in December. As the year goes on, you can keep pulling more cards to give you more clarity. Do I recommend doing this? Sounds like fun if you want to do it for fun, but I would not follow the cards so closely that you're not making your own life choices and you're not allowing for flexibility. With December, I was concerned about death being there. If I'm focused on death and dying throughout the year, that's not going to be good or healthy for my mentality. But does that have to happen in December? Absolutely not. If you follow this process, by the time you get to December, you will have 12 cards to define your December. So I've cleared out all my other cards. Let's pretend it's December. I've got my 3 originals. I've got a whole lot more that I've pulled throughout the year. Suddenly I've got 12 cards to define 1 month. That's a whole lot, and you're not going to get any clarity from that at all. But more realistically, I would recommend do the spread with 1 card for each month. Just take a look at it at the start of the year to give you a sense of energetically how your own life is going to flow throughout the year. There's a lot of different ways that you can work with it or interpret it. Now, I showed you the circle like a clock. You can likewise lay it out in rows if that helps you. So here I've got my 12 months, one for each month of the year. How you lay it out doesn't really matter, but it is a fun way just to get a view on the year to come. This is very similar to the card a day pull. So if you pull one card every day to give you insight on your day, this is almost like pulling a card a month to get you insight on the month. And you can do it that way as well. You can pull one card at the beginning of January that says, this is how your month is going to go. And then when February rolls around, pull one more card to say, this is how February is going to go. In the case of all of these, I would recommend writing your cards down, writing down what the meaning means to you, what your interpretation was in that moment, just so you have a record of it that you can go back to, and so you can reflect afterwards how it went for you. Did it go the way the card said? Do you feel like you manifested things to go a certain way because of the card? Or did the card give you fair warning of things that you didn't necessarily know about? So there's a lot of different ways that you can work with the cards and work with the energy within them. You can not only learn the tarot, but you can learn your own intuition and your own impulses at the same time. So that is this week's Tarot Tuesday. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, and we will see you next week.